Hello and welcome to the farm. Welcome to my craft room in my 1902 farmhouse. My name is Alicia with Country Mama Musings, and today we're getting together to create block 50 for our heirloom Afghan crochet along. This is the Picot stitch. So get your size H crochet hook and whatever color you have as color B, and let's get started. So we're going to go ahead and start our 50th block. Can you believe we're at 50? I know it's taken me a long time to get here between illnesses and all types of things, but here we are at 50. We're in the home stretch. We're going to start with a slip knot on our hook, and we're going to chain 26. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 23, 24, 25, and 26. Now that we have our chain established, let's move on to row 1. We're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook and in each chain across. So not counting the loop on your hook. Here's our first chain. We're going to skip that one. We're going to single crochet right here in the second chain from the hook and in each stitch across. When you get to the end, you should have 25 single crochet. I'll meet up with you at the end of the row. 23, 24, and 25. We have a nice first row of evenly stitched single crochet. Let's move on to row 2. For row 2, we're going to chain 1 and turn. So there's our chain 1 turning our work. We're going to single crochet in the first single crochet. Don't skip anything here. Right here in this very first stitch, we're going to place a single crochet. Now we're going to start creating our picots. To create our picots, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to slip stitch in the third chain from the hook. So not counting the loop on the hook, 1, 2, 3. We're just going to enter. You don't have to get 2 loops on your hook. You can just get 1 on there. Grab your yarn and pull it through, and then pull it through the loop that's on your hook. Don't yarn over. And that creates this little bobble that's called a picot. We're going to skip the next single crochet, and we're going to single crochet in the next. So right here, just place a single crochet. Now we're going to go right back into making those picots. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into the third chain from the hook. Grab your yarn and pull it through the loop on your hook, creating the picot. We're going to skip the next single crochet and single crochet in the stitch after that. And when you single crochet, make sure you get both the front loop and the back loop. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into that third chain from the hook, pulling through that stitch and pulling through the loop that's on your hook. Skip the next single crochet, place a single crochet in the stitch after that. You're going to continue this all the way down your row. I'll meet up with you when we get to the end of this row. I'm creating my last picot here because here I'm at the end of my row. I'm going to skip this one and I'm going to single crochet here at the very end of our row. And let's take a look at row 2. So here we've created all of these little picots across our block. We should have a total of 12 picots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Let's move on to row 3. Hey, are you enjoying putting together all of the beautiful heirloom sampler blocks for our heirloom Afghan crochet along? If so, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, check out the playlist that has all of the videos for every block for our crochet along, and be sure to share the video with your friends that like to crochet. Okay, let's get back to our project for this week. Placing our hook back onto our work, we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then we're going to turn our work. We're going to slip stitch in the 3rd chain from our hook. This is going to create a picot and a double crochet in which we'll start our next row. We don't want to do single crochets because then they're going to squish our picots. We need to have the height of the double crochet. So not counting the loop that's on our hook, count back 1, 2, 3. We're going to slip stitch into that 3rd chain. Remember, we're not yarning over. We're just going to pull through and we're going to create that picot. Then we're going to double crochet in the next single crochet. So we're going to skip over this picot. We're going to go to this single crochet right here and we're going to place a double crochet. Make sure you get both a front loop and a back loop on your hook. Complete that double crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to create a picot by slip stitching into that 3rd chain from the hook. Right there. We're going to skip over this picot and go to the single crochet and place a double crochet into that single crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Create a picot by slip stitching into that 3rd chain from the hook. Skip over this picot, find the single crochet from the prior row, and place a double crochet. You're going to continue working picots and placing double crochets into the single crochet all the way to the end of the row. I'll meet up with you there. I'm here to the end of my row and I'm placing my last double crochet. Let's take a look at our block. Once again, at the end of this row, we should have 12 picots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And here you can see we've got plenty of space in between our rows, so our picots are not squished. This almost reminds me of the block that we did of the little crowns. It's very, very pretty. It's going to be nice and textural. It's going to be a nice little block. Let's move on to row 4. For row 4, we're going to chain 6 and turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we're going to turn our work. Once again, we're going to slip stitch in the 3rd chain from the hook, not counting the loop on our hook. 1, 2, 3. Slip stitch right into there and pull that through, creating a picot. Now we're going to do just like what we did in row 3, only we're going to be creating double crochets in the top of these double crochets, not single crochets. Now it's double crochets. So here's another double crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Create your picot. Skip over the picot from the prior row, find the top of your double crochet, and create another double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Go right into making a picot. Slip stitch to create that picot. Skip the one from the prior row and find your next double crochet and create a double crochet. You're going to continue this pattern of row 4. I'm going to meet up with you when we're about halfway through with our block. We'll check in and see how things are looking. And I'm just going to keep on creating my picots and my double crochet. I'll meet up with you when we're about halfway through. I've just created the last picot here on one of my rows and I'm coming up to the end of my row. Did you guys remember that this is a double crochet here at the end? We've created our picot. We've got a picot here. We're going to skip over. We're going to go right here to the very end. This is where we chained 6 and made a picot. Remember, this counts as a double crochet. So we're going to go to the very top of that and finish a double crochet there, and then we can move on to our next row. But let's take a look at how things are looking halfway through. Very, very nice defined rows of little picots and double crochets in between. Nothing is crowded, everything is spaced nice and even. They look beautiful on either end there, on either side of our work. It looks really, really pretty. Now, like I said, I'm about halfway done here. When we get to where we're about 7 inches square, make sure you come back because we're going to finish this off before we do our edging so we don't have all of these picots just hanging out here in the middle of nowhere. But let's take our measuring tape and see how things are looking. We're really close to about that 7-inch square there. And if I look from here, I'm about 4 inches. So I've got a few more inches to go. And I'm going to go ahead and continue on with repeating row 4. And then when I get to about the 7-inch square mark, I'm going to come back and we're going to finish off the very last row. It will give everything a nice clean edge where these picots are, and then we'll be able to put on our edging. So I'm going to continue on with the repeat of row 4, and I'll meet up with you when my block is about ready. Okay, I've put quite a few rows together here for our picot, and I'm not quite at 7 inches. I'm at about 6.5 inches, but I have to put one more row on to even out those picots. So I'm not going to make any more rows of picots. I'm going to go ahead and move right in to our last row. For our last row, we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we're going to turn our work. We're going to double crochet in the next double crochet over here. We're not going to make picots anymore. We're just going to create some double crochets and then chain 1. Double crochet into the next double crochet. You just skip right over those picots. Chain 1. Double crochet in the next double crochet. Chain 1. I'm going to complete this down here to the end of the row and I'll see you there. Okay, I'm here to the end now and I do have this last chain up here that's going to count as a double crochet. So I'm going to make sure I get 2. It's a little bit difficult to get into that stitch there, making sure I've got 2 loops on my hook there, and I'm going to finish off that last double crochet. And there, our picot block is complete. I bet you we're really close to 7 inches now. Very, very close. Very close. Close enough that I'm not going to squibble and squabble over it. So now what I need to do is don't finish off. You're going to work round 1 of your edging in the same color as your square. Then you're going to work round 2 of your edging in the color that you've determined that you're going to put all of your work together with. Once you have your edging completed, go ahead, grab a tag, mark it week 50, the picot stitch in color B. Well, that's all for today from here in the craft room. Thank you so much for joining me as we make this fun block for our Heirloom Afghan. I look forward to seeing you next week for the star stitch, week number 51. I'll see you then. Until then, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.